call the regular council meeting of Tuesday, June 16th to order. We'll ask everyone to please rise. We're going to have an invocation led by Councilman Cara, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by Angelo.
This is I'd like to offer a Father's Day prayer for upcoming Sunday's Father's Day. And it's, Lord, I am asking for your help to raise my newborn son. Give me strength and guide me, because I know you're the one. Once I had no answer as to why I am here, but when I look into my baby's eyes, it all became clear. This little bit of heaven owns my heart and soul, and it's you that sent him to me. A greater love I'll never know. So take these rugged hands of mine, help me understand just what it is I need to raise this little man. Help me build a boy that knows it's you that holds the key to all that heaven holds for us. Show him your love through me. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Angelo. Roll call.
Sarah.
Here.
Conley. Evans.
Here.
Lasky. Bass.
Here.
Starzl. Gursky.
Here. We'll have the reading of the minutes of the regular council meeting held on May 19, 2015.
Motion to accept them as written.
We have a motion by Dave, a second by Brian to accept the minutes. Anybody have any questions or comments about the motion? Anybody from the floor wish to address this motion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, no. Ayes have it. The next item on the agenda is a piece of special business. I'm going to turn the meeting over to Dave Mace, who's the chairman of the Borough Council Recreation and Youth Committee.
Thank you. This spring we had, in keeping with our past practice, we had 5 athletes achieve district championships in track and field this year. And we wanted to take an opportunity to honor them. If I could, because there's one relay team and then also some individuals, if I could have the following people come up here and join me. Victoria Labar, Jeanette Cabana, and Chelsea Kranz. I'm guessing Jeanette wasn't able to join us this evening. For the 3 of them, there are 3 members of a relay team, but their achievement was essentially the same. So I'm going to read the certificate that we have for them corporately, if you will. So, in recognition of winning a gold medal in the girls 4x800 meter relay at the PIAA District 11 Class AA Track and Field Championships on May 12th and 13th, 2015, Chelsea and Victoria and her teammates finished the relay in 10 minutes, 2 seconds. 10 minutes, 2.31 seconds. Tamaqua Borough Council commends them for their outstanding athletic achievement. Congratulations. There's going to be more, so one more.
Stay there.
Okay, so if you can hang out, please, I would appreciate that.
Was there somebody right behind you when you came when you crossed the finish line?
The one who crossed the finish line is coming next. So Monica Shimko, if you could join me, please. Monica was the 4th member of the relay team, but she also won a gold medal as an individual in the 800 as well. So in recognition of winning the gold medal in the girls 800 meter run at the PIAA District 11 Class AA Track and Field Championships with a time of 2:24.60, Monica also earned gold medal in the girls 4x8 100 meter relay. Monica and her teammates finished the relay in 10:02.31. The Tamaqua Borough Council commends Monica Shimko for these outstanding athletic achievements. And lastly, Morgan Boyle. Morgan won a gold medal in the girls' javelin. So in in recognition of winning a gold medal in the girls javelin at the PIAA District 11 Class AA Track and Field Championship. Morgan took first place with a throw of 133 feet 7 inches. Morgan also placed 6th in the girls javelin at the PIAA State Championships, throwing 133 feet 11 inches. Tamaqua Borough Council commends Morgan Boyle for these outstanding athletic achievements. Some of the coaches are here as well. If you're here, would you stand up and be recognized as well? Coach Kanger?
Yeah.
Thank you to you and the parents. So. Okay.
Are they coming up for a photo?
Hey, bring it up.
Come on up, Coach, join us for a picture.
Slide this way a little bit, then we'll do the coach on the other side.
On three, 1, 2. Yeah. Stay there. One more. Then this one. I know where that is. I'm good.
Anybody else?
Anybody else for a picture?
Okay, thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Congratulations to all of you for the hard work, not just during the events, but in off-season, building up to them. Okay, we have, next on the agenda, you're more than welcome to stay with us for the entire meeting. We have communications next on the
But you
agenda.
won't offend us if you don't.
All right, say thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
I have 3 communications. First is from American Hose Company #1, Thomas Wood Secretary. It is again that time of the year to ask permission to hold our annual Fireman's Festival. As in the past years, we would like to hold it the first weekend in August. The dates this year would be Friday, August 7th through Sunday, August 9th. We would like to make the following requests: to close Pine Street from Broad to Mauchunk Street from Thursday, August 6th at 8 a.m. until Sunday, August 9th at 11:30 p.m.
Make a motion to grant the request in the letter.
Motion by Dave, second by Tom. Anybody have any questions or comments? Anybody from the floor wish to address this motion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, no. The ayes have it.
Second is from Linda Yulinovich, corresponding secretary to Tamaqua Historical Society. The 24th Annual Tamaqua Summerfest will be held on Sunday, June 21st, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. in downtown Tamaqua. Many new and exciting events and demonstrations are being planned for this year's festival. We are asking permission to close the following streets: South Railroad Street from West Broad to Spruce, Haggerty Avenue from Borough to Lafayette, Nescopeck from Broad to Haggerty Avenue, Nescopeck from to Cottage Avenue. In addition, we are asking that no parking signs be posted on the following streets: West Broad Street from South Railroad to Nescopeck, South Railroad from West Broad to Spruce, Berwick from West Broad to Rowe, Nescopeck from Haggerty Avenue to Cottage Avenue, and Haggerty Avenue. We will need the same amount of barricades and about 15 orange traffic cones for the day of the event. I'd be glad to coordinate these events with both you and Chief Weaver. If you have any questions, please contact her.
Make a motion to grant the request in Linda's letter.
Motion by Dave, second by Tom. Anybody have any questions or comments? Anybody from the floor wish to address this motion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, no. Ayes have it.
Okay, next is from Thomas J. Vanitelli, Senior Chairman of the Owl Creek Reservoir Commission. The Owl Creek Reservoir Commission was contacted a few weeks ago about someone willing to donate a 16-foot by 16-foot cabin with porch. Excuse me. This cabin was at a church camp in the Poconos, and the property was sold. Those involved with this cabin had a choice of leaving it there and possibly be torn down, or dismantling and having it erected elsewhere. Their first choice was the Owl Creek Reservoir property. The Owl Creek Reservoir Commission held a meeting to discuss the possible location of this cabin. At a meeting Monday evening, June 8th, the consensus was to place this building on the level ground dam side to the west of the lower dam access road, and there's a diagram attached. We discussed the many uses of the building, for example, use by the Boy Scouts for temporary headquarters, for a sign-in area for different events such as the 5K charity run and animal rescue dog walk, which were held recently at the reservoir. These are just a few ideas that came to mind. We are seeking Borough Council's approval to place this cabin on the site as noted on the diagram. The OCRC does not seek any revenue from the borough, and labor to erect, paint the inside, and maintain will all be volunteer. This building is now being stored on my business property at 250 South Greenwood Street until a decision is made.
Make a motion to grant the permission to place the cabin as indicated in the diagram.
Second. Motion by Dave, second by Brian. Anybody have any questions or comments?
I have a comment. It sounds like it'd be a great place for the mayor to reside at. Lakeside at Owl Creek sounds like a great place. Myself and the dog could, carry out our later years.
You'll have to walk the dog, and the dog will have to walk you because there's no facility. No running water, no food.
It sounds wonderful. It really sounds like a great asset.
Mayor's office. Okay. Anybody from the floor wish to address this motion? They do a nice, the commission does a really nice job. If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, no. Ayes have it. Thank you, Georgia. Borough managers report.
Yes, thank you. Just a few updates on some of our ongoing projects. As you're probably aware, the demolition projects on Pitt Street, Gay Street are finished. There is a little bit of restoration work left to be done at Gay Street. There was a washout there after last storm, and we'll restore the sidewalk, but otherwise that project is completed. And our last demolition project on Spruce Street was well underway, so that seems to be coming along nicely. Also lately, we've been doing some hydrant flushing throughout town. So if you experience periods of low water pressure or some discolored water, that's most likely because of that. We've been sending out phone notifications in advance of the flushing. Some people indicated to us that they haven't gotten our phone notice. So if you haven't, please call our office and we can add you into the system. And that could be any phone, landline, cell phone, what have you. I put a note on the agenda about a revised traffic plan for the 5 points. If you recall, we asked PennDOT to look at that, not too long ago. They came up with a revised plan. It's going through another revision. A few more ideas were brought to the table and presented to PennDOT. And I sent this to council to take a look at, I think, last week. What they're proposing is basically the changes that were proposed previously, such as the larger do not enter signs, which would be placed at the end of Railroad Street. They are also planning to keep the North 309 with a 45-degree arrow sign package, which would be placed on the mast arm at the 5 points for northbound traffic. They're also keeping part of that double yellow dash extension that they have proposed, if you recall that. What they're adding is a crosshatch area at the intersection of Railroad and Lock Chunk, where the old diner used to be. It would be a yellow area with diagonal lines through it. And they're thinking that that would help further direct traffic to where it should be on Montchelm Street. So we don't have a situation where, hopefully, where vehicles are going straight through the intersection at times off Railroad Street. And one more thing they're adding is they're recommending we paint 309 North on the very beginning of Montchelm Street.
Paint 309 North. How What is 309 North?
Well, it would be 309 and painted on the street to indicate that that's where it is and not dead ahead.
I'd rather see a nice thick arrow there. But PennDOT knows where they're going.
Well, that's why we're talking about this.
Does it include additional do not enter signs on the back of?
Oh, yes, yes, that's right, thank you. Yeah, there is the additional, one more do not enter sign, which would be on the mast arm further up Railroad Street. It's sort of the northern end of the Square Park, near that driveway. Yes, thank you, I forgot that part.
Is there a possibility of maybe asking them, particularly the do not enter signs, I've seen in other places, I don't see it often, but I've seen like little LEDs at the corners of the lights, or sorry, the corners of the sign or something like that, sort of, it flashes and gets your attention to look at the sign and hopefully obey it. I'm wondering if the addition of some lights on those do not enter signs might attract some attention.
How is that
I don't know if I've seen those, are they LEDs or could
Yes,
they be reflectors?
LEDs.
Oh, they're LEDs, okay, we've never encountered those.
I was at the PennDOT meeting on Summit Hill the other day, and I asked her about those strobe lights that they have on those, and she says that they don't put lights on them anymore.
No.
Because one of those strobe lights would really get your attention, but she says we're not allowed to use it anymore. I don't know.
Like a
They're
triple
not allowed to
LED
use
sign.
strobe lights, they're allowed to use LEDs or lights in general,
Maybe LEDs.
two different things.
That's pretty LED.
It just, if they're asking for comments from us, you could include that as a comment or a question, would there be a possibility of including those?
I think what they're looking for now is approval on these additional items at the intersection. So certainly if we get that, we could also make some additional recommendations.
I'll make a motion to approve the recommended changes.
What's that?
Motion by Dave, second by Tom. Anybody have any questions or comments?
Question, are we including our request in there with that as well?
Yes, I would like it, that would be my, to include the request in as far, along with the,
The LED lights, yeah.
So you're okay with that on the motion? So the motion is to approve the improvements that they're recommending and also to
request LEDs, on the place that intersection.
Ask them if they'll pay when you put 309 North, you put an arrow, a real thick arrow there too.
Any other questions or comments?
Just to be clear, the LEDs would be on the do not enter sign.
Right.
Anybody from the floor wish to address this motion? Andy?
And Landry, Fort Ranger, my turn street, Tamaqua. Who's paying for that?
Who's paying for it?
We will.
Commissioner.
Any other questions or comments? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, no. Ayes have it.
Thank you. Also, along the lines of traffic, we were made aware that a grant program is currently available to us. It's called the ARLI grant, which stands for Automated Red Light Enforcement Program. Now, the program will fund things other than automated red lights. There's a list of eligible projects, and we had applied for funding to this program about 4 years ago for the Columbia and Broad and Spruce and Hunter Street intersection. Our proposal was to upgrade those intersections so there would be dual traffic signals in each direction, loop sensors, the new handicap push button pedestrian lights and so forth. Obviously, we weren't successful at that time. So essentially, we'd applied for what we did at the streetscape project at the other intersections. We had, Mike and I had discussed this briefly, and I also spoke application again. Now, I'm told the intersection at Spruce and Hunter no longer qualifies. However, the one at East Broad and Columbia would still be eligible. Our engineer is estimating the project cost to be somewhere around $350,000. And he is willing to assist us with the grant application, because I will need some information from him. It's an online application, but there are some technical items on there that I would need his help with. He said he would be willing to assist us for approximately $1,000.
I'll make a motion to do that. I'd love to see the light at Columbia upgraded.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Motion by Thomas, second by Dan. Anybody have any questions or comments?
Just to clarify again, this was to improve the equipment or upgrade the equipment at that intersection?
Essentially, we would make it look like all the other intersections on Broad Street. It would include
Redundant signals,
Yeah.
as big as safety.
and decorative poles. That was part of our prior application.
But it wouldn't be connected into any loop or any communication loop, I'm guessing.
It could be, but I'm not certain. That's one thing I'll have to ask the engineer. It could be through radio connection, possibly.
I'm sorry,
It could be through a radio receiver transmitter, or wireless connection. That's how some of the
also run the fiber down the poles on Broad Street too to get to the one at Greenwood.
No. Some of them are synchronized through transmitters.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we just found out about this yesterday.
Right.
Our engineer just brought this program to our attention. It's the same program we applied to 4 years ago, but it has some different requirements in it now. And the Spruce and Hunter Street intersection is not eligible.
When I prepared a resolution in the event that you would want to pursue it, I do a resolution authorizing, so you're stating that we want for this project.
Well, then I'll make my motion to that resolution.
To adopt the resolution.
Anybody else have any questions or comments? Anybody from the floor wish to address this motion?
Actually, I have one other question. I understand that Hunter would not be available then for, I'm sorry, Spruce and Hunter would not be available for grant funding. But there would potentially then be additional equipment that could be placed in that intersection. In other words, take the stuff of Broad and Columbia and potentially move it to Spruce and Hunter. I'm just thinking out loud. To maybe upgrade, get that to the point where there's 2 lights there as well.
I don't know, because we did upgrade the equipment at Spruce and Hunter. You know, as far as the equipment in the control box.
Correct, it only has 1 light.
Right. Actually, that intersection might be impacted by the next bridge project. And might get some upgrades through that project.
Permanent ones, or I think they were talking about temporary ones.
I'm hoping permanent.
Okay.
I'm hoping permanent. Again, not sure, because that's very preliminary. But, I mean, it's something we could take a look at.
Well, it's putting the cart way before the horse,
Yeah.
I recognize that, but certainly, you know, we might want to be interested in keeping the material if we're successful.
You know, we could
The
probably
existing material.
do a redundant light there on a wire. You know, we'll have to take a look.
Let me say one other thing about Columbia and Broad. That's a heavily used bus stop for kids, for school buses. It would be nice to have signals there where they can cross a little safe.
There's a fire company right there.
And there's a fire company right there.
Any other questions or comments? Anybody from the floor wish to address this motion? If not, it's a resolution, so we'll have a roll call vote.
Kara,
Yes.
Conley,
Yes.
Evans,
Yes.
Mace,
Yes.
Gursky.
Yes.
to come up with, I think we had a very productive meeting, actually, and we were able to come up with a cost sharing arrangement for paving that area. Roughly about 60-40, with that bearing 40% of the cost. So that's a project we're looking at doing in July, and hopefully we're going to try to do it in the evening to avoid traffic and the impact on motorists. So I'll keep you posted on that. We don't have any firm dates yet, but our meeting with the railroad went extremely well. So we appreciate their willingness to help out.
That's probably the worst section. Almost to go over in this whole community.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely in need of an upgrade, so. I believe that's all I have.
Thank you. Thank you, Kevin.
One thing, Kevin, we got something in our package about the insurance, fire insurance for rapid run. So I understand what they're saying, that the insurance that the Rapid Run Club has is only for their quote members. Being that that's our property, does our insurance cover then the activities of non-members fishing there?
Well, we have it insured for property and general liability.
Okay.
Their insurance would cover the activities of their organization and its members.
Their members, but anybody fishing there, whatever, would fall, and if someone got hurt, would fall under ours.
Yep.
My point is there's coverage there.
Yes, there is.
But not for their,
Not for their club, but they hold their own.
I requested that letter from them because we've had a number of questions about their operations there lately. And they were telling me they're doing, their practices changed because of their insurance policy. So I asked them if they provide us with a letter, and that's what we received.
Place is a mess out there. I took a walk up there a couple weeks ago, and man, there's a pavilion out there. It's
I'm trying to get funding, to erect a new pavilion for a few years now, somehow, some way, through either a joint project through Eastern Schuylkill, Walker Township, or any way. We've been trying to fund a project out there.
Kevin, pretty much what the,
I'm sorry.
pretty much what the group had discussed with you about their insurance is what their policy stated, correct?
I didn't review their actual policy, but we got a letter from the Byron Agency that has summarized it. So, I mean, right now hunting is allowed on the premises, but it's restricted to only the active members. That seems to be the main issue, is their hunting policy. They're saying that's due to their insurance carrier, which is what the letter seems to indicate. That's not as much as I can tell you. I didn't delve into it any further.
thank you, Kevin.
Sure.
Police chiefs,
I have nothing to report, Mr. President.
committee reports, finance, wage, and salary committee. Tom?
Yeah, there's a motion to retain Michael Westner Jr. as a full-time water treatment plant operator upon completion of his probation period. Make that motion.
Second. Motion from Tom, second by Dave. Anybody have any questions or comments? Anybody from the floor wish to address this motion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, no. Ayes have it.
And a motion to retain Jordan Bagley as a full-time water distribution worker upon completion of his probation period.
Motion by Tom, second by Dave. Anybody have any questions or comments? If not, anybody from the floor? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, no. Ayes have it.
The motion to hire part-time employees for general maintenance work. This was for the summer, right? There's a list. Have their names on the list, right?
Can you read the list, Tom, just for the record? I'm sure you'll have it in a minute.
There's a Bernie
Jiggly.
Jigley, Tyler Hollenbach, Chili, G-I-G-L-I, Tyler Hollenbach, Galen Hauser, Ernest Shilko, Leland Woods, and Scott Salonis.
second by Dave. Anybody have any questions or comments? Anybody from the floor wish to address this motion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, no. Ayes have it.
Motion to set the starting wage for part-time maintenance workers at $8 an hour and a $25 increment for each year of service. Oh, 25 cents per hour increase for each year of service. And adjust their returning employees' wages accordingly.
Motion by Tom, second by Dave. Anybody have any questions or comments? Anybody from the floor? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, no. Ayes have it. Good then?
Yep.
Anything else, Tom?
No, that's all.
Recreation and Youth Committee.
I have a few motions. I'd like to make a motion to hire some additional part-time lifeguards for the 2015 full season pending completion of the lifeguard certification. The list of applicants includes Gabrielle Markowitz, Christopher Miller, Hannah Perla, Caitlin Schlanta, Caitlin Stauffenberg, Sierra Zabo, and Michael Woodsack.
A second. Motion by Dave, second by Tom. Anybody have any questions or comments? Anybody from the floor wish to address this motion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, no. The ayes have it.
I'd also like to make a motion to approve an authorized provider agreement with the American Red Cross for lifeguard training at the pool. This is something, a program that our assistant pool manager has been participating in using the pool facility as a training facility for lifeguard certification through the American Red Cross.
Second motion.
Motion by Dave, second by Brian. Anybody have any questions or comments? Anybody from the floor? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, no. The ayes have it.
And thirdly, I'd like to make a motion to adopt a resolution authorizing the submission of an application for funding for Greenway Trails and Recreation Program grant. And that is in respect to, regard to the Bungalow Bathhouses project that right now we're applying for a $250,000 grant for that project.
Second motion.
We have a motion by Dave and a second by Brian to adopt a resolution authorizing the submission of the grant for the Buffalo Bathhouses. Anybody have any questions or comments?
Just a comment, that will be submitted through our ESRC affiliation. The new director of the ESRC will actually submit that paperwork no later than the end of this month.
Any other questions or comments? Anybody from the floor wish to address this motion? If not, all those, it's a roll call vote, resolution.
Karen.
Yes.
Conley.
Yes.
Evans.
Yes.
Mace.
Yes,
Gursky.
Yes.
I have nothing further.
Thank you, Dave. Any other committee reports?
Yes, Mr. President, I have a few things from parking and traffic. Carrie Lasky is out of town tonight. We did actually meet and review a few things since she took over the chair. I'd like to make a motion to approve a handicapped parking space requested by Kim Bailey for her son Hunter at 139 Penn Street.
Second.
Motion by Dan, second by Tom for a handicap parking space at 139 Penn Street. Anybody have any questions or comments? Anybody from the floor wish to address this motion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, no. The ayes have it.
We'd also like to make a motion to approve a handicap parking space for Kelly Frederickson at 643 East Broad Street.
Second.
Motion by Dan, second by Tom for handicap parking spot 645. Anybody?
643, I'm sorry.
643. 643. Anybody from the floor? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, no. Ayes have it.
I'd like to make a motion to approve a handicap parking space for Sylvans Schmick at 31 Hunter Street.
Second.
Motion by Dan, second by Tom. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
under the question, 31 Hunter Street is already one in that unit block with, parking on one side of the street.
We reviewed it and found one at 47 Hunter Street.
That is
It's
the
the same
same
block.
unit block,
Okay.
41, 47, 31. Now, there is a provision, if I'm not correct, that states if it's over an X amount of feet long, that is a long block, so it still could possibly apply at, I don't know.
I'll rescind the motion and review it again.
And I'm certainly not doubting that they may deserve it or
Right.
need it or anything of that nature. I'd just like to make sure we got our i's, cross our t's. But again, it's one side of street parking,
Correct.
it's one block, but I believe the
Was it
provision,
a
is
unit?
it a 600
feet.
600 feet or more
Mhm.
would classify enough room for a second one within that block. So we probably need some verification
Right.
on the length. It is a long unit block, that is.
Right, I kind of thought that when we did talk about it, but I didn't think it was an issue because I only found one space.
So you rescind that vote?
I'm gonna rescind that motion and kick that back to the committee, okay? Okay, I also,
If I may, just for the members of the public who are here, the Borough Council has adopted rules for handicap parking spots, and it includes a limit on how many can be located in each block. And there is a provision, if the block is significantly long, and it's actually spelled out in the rules how long it has to be, then you can do 2 spots.
and Hunter Street is one of those situations, it's just a unique street. We also reviewed a application from Joseph McAlush at 400 West Broad Street, and we are going to decline that application. Also, I just wanted to run through a couple things that we also did look at. We reviewed a request for hidden driveway at Origsburg Street. We reviewed some correspondence regarding parking on 300 block of North Railroad Street. We reviewed a letter from a resident on East Broad Street regarding the speed limit in East End Avenue. We also looked at parking at Biddle Street in and around the Dutch Hill baseball field, as well as a request from L-Tri-C for a stop sign up at the corner there. But we'll come back to council with a recommendation on that. We also discussed the parking meter project that we moved forward with a couple of years ago and kind of put on hold.
Yeah, I mean, some of these parking meters, are nickel and a dime in them. I mean, there's 50 meters from Escapec up to Forest Street, 25 on each side of the street. When we talked to Chip, meters, he said they're like $125 each. But,
Where exactly are we with, how many we have left to replace?
on Broad Street, probably.
I'm not 100% sure, but the original plan was a 5-year plan to replace basically 50 a year. So I thought that when we got the CDBG money, and since we're re-looking at the allocations to CDBG money, that we would at least look at this briefly to see if we could move this project forward. I thought,
Some of the areas, Dan, that we don't have done would fall into the CDBG area. In other words, the middle ward, like Pine and,
well, I'm thinking most of West Broad Street.
okay.
I think there's gonna be an ask for clarification
On the, whether it would be eligible for funding.
Does the North Ward start on Broad Street?
Yeah.
Is that one side of the Broad Street would be eligible?
But, yeah, I think so.
The CDBG goes by census tract.
Yeah, so the North Ward is where we can use
I
some of the
think we
money.
maxed out the number of meters we could buy from CDBG, if I'm not mistaken. We bought $60,000 worth. It's about 100.
That was our one product.
I think we maxed out the funds that we had available that we wanted to apply it to at one time. Since then, other projects have been deemed ineligible, and we may want to look at it.
I mean, we could request again,
Right.
you know.
I think that's where we're going
as something that we felt was worthwhile looking at and trying to find some funding for one way or the other.
Can the committee, when the committee take a look at where we are in that 5-year plan, and maybe at the next meeting, just give us an update?
I just was trying to give you some of the highlights. Okay. So,
information on all that to you, I don't recall.
yeah, I think we'll have some recommendations on those other items that we discussed as well. Thank you.
Thank you for giving the parking and traffic report. Carrie had a death in her family, so wasn't able to make it tonight, but it's like the old days, Dan. You were chairman of the parking and traffic committee. You had a long list of items to report on, so thank you.
Good reports. Can I say something to traffic? This August 4th event that the borough is gonna be having, the chief has a plan to. Well, let me talk about something different, yeah, while he's discussing it. I went to the. The August 4th, plan has, some streets blocked off and they're gonna need assistance from the police department and from the, fire police. And Rick, you have all of that covered, right?
Yep. Fire police is also notified of the information.
The who?
Fire police is all the information.
Okay. So we're covered for that. She's having a meeting on the 23rd and
Yes,
you'll tell her that.
talked to Captain Schwartz about it. He's coming to the meeting at 7 o'clock on the 23rd at the community center.
Okay.
And I'm gonna review the map with them at that time, to see how many they wanna bring out, because there's gonna be 6 or 8 officers out that night also, walking around, not necessarily doing traffic, but they're gonna have sufficient fire police there, he has no problem.
So mark your calendars, August 4th in the evening, it starts at 7 or 7:30. There's gonna be a 1-mile walking route through Tamaqua, through several streets, some non-traditional streets that have open for a public event. And they're gonna be having actors and artists bringing the Dear Tamaqua tales and stories to life. Should be a very interesting experience.
Did we approve fire police previously?
No, I don't think we did.
I would do a motion for the, to authorize the fire police.
I'll make a motion for the rest of our police
And
to
the police,
participate,
and the
and the
fire
police
department.
department
Fire
participate in this event.
Second.
Motion by Thomas, second by Dave. Anybody have any questions or comments? Good idea, Mike. Anybody from the floor? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, no. The ayes have it.
One other thing on the traffic, I went to the, meeting at Summit Hill, the, PennDOT meeting last Monday or Tuesday. And, it was for PennDOT's 20-year plan, and they wanted municipalities to tell what you think you're gonna need in the near future. And Christine Gertie was there from, Senator Argo's office, and she requested a bypass to go from behind Herman Motors and to cross 209 and somehow go up to Route 54. I had told her that I thought that we have too many tractor trailers in Tamaqua. The town wasn't built for tractor trailers, and we have tractor trailers that go up Railroad Street, and if we could get another lane on Railroad Street. So she put that down in her plan. And, I guess the biggest, request was Hazelton requested an interchange off of the Pennsylvania Turnpike for Hazelton. So, Hazelton, this is off the Turnpike, they're looking for an interchange. Yeah.
It's gonna be a long ramp.
It'll be a long run. But,
Where was our bypass? Through the mountain, 54, or over the mountain?
she didn't request it, she just said, we need a bypass around Tamaqua.
This is the long-range transportation planning, public input process, so those types of ideas and recommendations are not outlandish. There is an online survey that you can take, to have input. I know when I completed my survey, I asked for passenger rail service from the Tamaqua train station. So, it is a long-range plan that they're working on, so these types of ideas are certainly appropriate, even if they might not be feasible the way you look at them now.
I know when she says this is a plan for the year 2040, I just thought to myself, oh my God, it's like a long time away, but.
But thank you for attending that.
So, that's all I have. Oh, and Kevin cut that tree down, I was very happy to see that.
Well, I didn't do it personally. You're welcome.
Anything else under parking and traffic? Any other committee reports?
I have one report, Mr. President. I'd like to make a motion that we hire Rachel Lennar for the part-time position, or position of part-time police officer. Corporal Woods and the chief recommend through all the background checks and whatnot, are recommending her to be put on the part-time list.
Second.
Motion by Brian, second by Dave. Anybody have any questions or comments? Anybody from the floor wish to address this motion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, no. The ayes have it. Any other committee?
She is here too.
Yeah,
She's here.
Rachel, you wanna stand
Just
up?
stand up and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Officer Rachel Lennar. Nice to meet you all.
Welcome aboard. I do have something under the downtown committee, just to report that the CRIZ program is fully underway. We had a deadline of June 1st, where the CRIZ authority had to submit a master business list to the Department of Revenue, the Pennsylvania Department of Revenue. The list included a map and also a list of all of the business entities that are doing business in the 297 parcels that are in our CRIZ. And then all of those business entities had till yesterday, June 15th, to submit an online reporting form to the Department of Revenue. We did not get 100% participation, but we did pretty well. And once we have the official numbers, and I want to thank Kevin and Christine in the office here for their help, and Greg Stewart from Benish for helping prepare the map and get the map down to the Department of Revenue. So the Department of Revenue will now calculate what our baseline year was, what 2004's taxes were paid by those business entities. And they'll send a letter to the CRIZ authority saying that in 2014, this amount of taxes was paid, and that becomes our baseline. And then going forward, including 2015, any taxes that are above that, we have the opportunity to get back into Tamaqua. So it includes sales tax, it includes payroll taxes, personal income tax, bank shares tax, corporate net income tax, and liquor sales tax. So in 2015, you should buy more liquor at the state store than you did in 2014, because the incremental difference will come back to the community. So let's hope that our businesses had a good 2014, but let's hope they have an even better 2015, so that they collect more sales tax, they have more employees and pay more in payroll taxes, so that money can come back to the community. So I just want to thank the staff for helping get that done. I can tell you that it's the exact same process that the city of Lancaster and the city of Bethlehem went through last year and this year. And both of those communities hired full-time staff to do this, and consultants, tens of thousands of dollars. I think one consulting contract was $80,000 to help prepare the list and get businesses to report. We did it with existing staff, and really no increase in payroll or employees. So it is a 30-year program, and so this is year one. We'll have to do this 29 more times. We did send a letter out to all of the business entities that are on the master business list, and I included my cell phone number and the Borough Hall number in case anybody had any questions. And my phone was ringing off the hook last week with people getting it in, and even yesterday, late afternoon yesterday, I had several people calling saying that they're getting it in, but it's going to be under the wire. So I want to thank the businesses for submitting it. Overall, people were very positive about it and had a pretty good understanding of what was going on. There is a $1,000 fine that the Pennsylvania Department of Revenue could levy against a business that doesn't submit it. So I'm glad that we had a lot of them submit. We'll be reporting out once the CRIZ authority gets that information from the Department of Revenue.
Mike, does that include gasoline tax?
No. It doesn't include gasoline tax, and it doesn't include cigarette tax, cigarette sales tax.
Big winners for us.
As long as they're not close to each other. All right. Any other committee reports? Okay, mayor's report. Mayor. Is there anybody from the floor wish to address council about any issue? Anybody from the floor? Stand up, state your name and address, please.
Thomas Allen from Alfred. We're here tonight to discuss an article that was in the Times News last night, quality of life ordinance. If you didn't have a quality of life ordinance, I think you should use it equally, enforce it equally. In Alfred, there's a garage that has tires. That's a health hazard. Water gets in the tires, you get mosquitoes, you get West Nile virus. Weeds. I was in and talked to the code enforcement officer a week or two ago. He said the borough officials said they're not gonna make people cut lots down out there, that they could go back to the lot. Is that true? And if so, why?
Well, my understanding is it depends if there's a structure on it or not. If there's a hole on it, it needs to be cut.
So that means
If it's,
everybody that has a vacant lot by their house, we can let that go back to the lot and don't have to cut it.
yes, that's what that means.
That's totally wrong.
That's my understanding.
Because there's snakes. The lot we're arguing about is a fire hazard. Last year I killed a copperhead. We got dead trees falling down, we got tree limbs falling down. In the fall, the grass dries. Somebody throws a cigarette butt out, that's going up in flames. There's a fire hazard. You have to get these lots cut, that were cut previously.
We really can't require undeveloped lots to be maintained. I mean, there's a lot of property in Tamaqua Borough that's not developed, and if it's impossible to maintain.
But there should be a precedence. This lot has been cut for at least 80 years. For 5 years, I cut it.
Because the thing is, where do you draw the line? What is forest and what is not? The definition they're using is if it's developed, if there's structures on it, then it needs to be maintained, it needs to be cut. If it's 10 acres of vacant land, then, I mean, what's not to say it's the forest? You know, where do you draw the line?
I'm just saying, the precedence was
So that's
set
what-
for over 80 years. It should be kept. It should be cut.
Why was it cut to begin with?
Because
Yeah,
my
I
grandparents,
I think I know the lot you're referring
my
to.
grandparents cut it. They had fruit trees on it, fruit trees on it.
Okay, and it's no longer an orchard,
No, the trees are dying and they're falling over. There's 2 of them, we're worried it's gonna fall into the house. And this lady has to, cut her hedges, and she can't get there because the weeds are so high. So something should be done. I know the owners, they're lazy, they don't wanna do anything.
Remind me of the address, I'm pretty sure I know which one you're talking about.
It's between 235 and 239. Mr. Kerr, I gotta disagree with you. The worst street in Tamaqua is Alfred Road. It has more holes and bumps in it than anything. And Mr. Mayor, there is 2 houses out there for sale.
For sale.
There's one for $285,000, and there's another one for over $200,000. That's the new one just built.
They just started patching, Joe, so it'll be going on, I guess they'll get down to Alfred sometime.
That brings me to my next topic. Speeding. It's anarchy out there. Nobody obeys the speed limit. They pass. FedEx goes through, they're speeding. UPS speeds. Fairway trucks speed. All the oil trucks speed. School was in session, the school buses were speeding. The Tamaqua transfer trucks are speeding. And there again, why are they out there 5 days a week? When Outbreaks Garbage and Recycles on 2 different days. They're using it for a shortcut to Summit Hill or Jim Thorpe or wherever they go. There's a 5-ton limit on that road. So why are they using it as a shortcut? We have to get the speeding under control out there. They're passing over the WO line. Well, that should be repainted on. We had two accidents out there so far this year, within weeks. One car hit a wall, another one was a hit and run. My cameras caught the hit and run, but because I couldn't get a license plate, the police couldn't do anything about it. It should have never happened because the guy was speeding, and he hydroplaned. So we're just looking for help out there. Get the speeding. There was a sign up once, you're going this fast. What happened to it? It was done by the FOP.
Yeah, we only had that temporarily, we didn't own that.
We need something like that, or we need signs of no passing or 35 miles an hour in different places. I can't read my own notes. And on September 11th, 2014, my life was uprooted. This lady had a stroke. And I just found out what could have been a contributory factor to it. Breathing in carbon monoxide. Where's the carbon monoxide coming from? There's a generator across the street that runs every Saturday morning. Get that to cease and stop running until it's properly exhausted, vented. That carbon monoxide is killing her, it's affecting her health. And I'm not making this up. There's an article, I read an article on the internet that it causes AFib. It's something about the CO goes to the heart, which could cause AFib, and that's exactly what happened to her. It should have never happened because of this carbon monoxide. The way the air currents are, they come right down into our house. People have fires, all the smoke comes into our house. It's just the way the air currents are coming in that section. So I'm asking, do something about that generator so I don't go into AFib. Thank you for your time.
Anybody else from the floor who wish to address council?
Just FYI for Joe, on 75% of them trucks that you mentioned that are speeding, there's a number on the back of them trucks that says, "How am I driving?" You write that number down and call that person, I guarantee they'll be stopped speeding.
You have to read it first.
Just
They
a
go
heads
that,
up.
they go that fast out there, you can't even read the license plate. And now we got tractor trailers going through out there. There again, what happened to the sign that was at the bottom of the hill? There was a sign with all different signs on, no trucks, it's a 5-ton weight limit on this road. What happened to that? It's right behind the generator where that pump station is. It was knocked out when the guy wrecked it.
Oh,
Thank you, Joe. Anybody else from the floor wish to address council? Angelo, this is your chance to ask your father a question. No? It's a public meeting, you can ask him
First time
anything.
he doesn't have a question.
You could ask him anything.
We can ask anything.
That's a good question, buddy. Can you put that in the minutes? Thank you. All right. Anybody else from the floor?
Deb Baltas, 406 Pitt Street. I had some people complain to me about, building that's on Washington Street. They said the slum landlord from New York doesn't take care of things. There's Hispanic people moving in and out, and they said the place is a mess. It's up against the fence there, and 3 different people complained to me. I said I'll bring it up at the meeting.
Certainly, if the place is a mess, we do have rules against that. There are no rules against Hispanic people. But
Yeah.
certainly, if the place is a mess, we could have somebody go out
Yeah,
there.
they had
Do you know what the street, do you know what the street address is?
No, I don't.
It's on Washington Street?
Yes.
It's a 300 block of Washington Street, the code enforcement, police department, they've been hitting that
You're aware of
hard.
it?
Well aware.
Thank you. All right, anybody else from the floor? If not, solicitors report.
No report.
Okay, we have the reports of the various departments of the borough.
Make a motion to accept the report.
Motion by Dave, second by Brian. Anybody have any questions or comments? Anybody from the floor? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, no. Ayes have it. Unfinished business.
On pagers would not be working at the end of 2013. I think we were told that, and we weren't gonna go with it. Now it's the middle of 2015 and they're still blowing. We would like, the fire department would like it to cease.
Pagers are still working now.
Yes.
They're still
That got us to the fire.
Right.
If we would've listened to the box horn, we would've been out the other end of town. That's not good, that's a public safety.
That's human error.
So do people
But
go
you ain't
to,
gonna take human error out of this equation.
They can dispatch you out over the pager and say put the wrong address in just as that, just the
Yes, they
same
can,
thing.
that's what's going on in Luzerne right now.
And that's already got thrown out.
I just wanna be on the record as the fire department for the second time, noting there's a problem with the dispatching and leaving it in your hands.
Have we contacted Comm Center and gave them?
I called them that night,
Yeah.
I messed up. You can't take human error out of this thing.
I agree.
So we're just making them do another extra step, instead of just doing the paging, we're making them get out of their seat, walk around the console, reach over and touch this machine that has 80 buttons on it, and that's how they hit the wrong button. Just another heads up with that, the only reason that thing is still there is because all the courthouse alarms are attached to that. Otherwise, when they revamp their system, go wireless, that system's gone. So,
I think we said also at that time too, that when that would happen, obviously we'd be in a position to get rid of it.
so the only other alternative, the pagers, that's the way?
well, they were both, we just want the 911 center to stop blowing the house sirens along with the dispatching, they were duplicating dispatch.
Well, they stopped the house siren, so it's only one siren, it's a bolt,
Right.
it punches out, so all the other house sirens have been discontinued.
How are people called if the pagers aren't working? If that system fails, how do we call people out?
How do we call people out? Hopefully, well, that's running off the phone system, so hopefully the box alarm is still up, right? That top phone system is not.
What if that system goes down? I mean, is there, how do we?
If the phone and electricity is down, I mean, our two-way radio, that's
Don't
not
put
it,
that
that's our only, basically, I don't know. I mean, that's a good backup system if something would happen with the pagers, somebody ran out and pulled the box. I'm not asking for it to be disconnected, all I want is the county to stop blowing, to alleviate a future problem down the road.
All right, thank you. Any other unfinished business? Bills and claims.
We met yesterday and reviewed bills, everything was in order, since Brian found one that was duplicated in there, so we got that taken care of, but all of the bills need to be paid. We reviewed them all.
Is that a motion?
Oh, yeah.
It's a lukewarm motion, but I think
Make
we'll go.
a motion to pay the bills.
I'll second that.
Motion by Tom, second by Dan. Anybody have any questions? Anybody from the floor wish to address this motion?
My second was, is not uniform.
If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, no. You guys have it. New business. Under new business, council in their packet has an attachment that includes the medal count for the Borough of Tamaqua in the Let's Move Cities, Town and Counties initiative. This is an initiative that the federal government and the League of Cities have partnered with for communities that promote health and municipalities that promote health and wellness in their community. We got, out of 5 possibilities, we got 4 gold medals and 1 bronze medal. So the information on that, on what those medals mean are attached on the 4 different goals that the League of Cities came up with. It's out on the website as well if you want to take a look at the Let's Move Cities, Town and Counties initiative. We get a lot of points for all the recreational opportunities and youth activities that we have. And so I just want to bring that to the council's attention.
Is there a fiscal certificate or something that they do? I mean, it'd be nice to hang some of these things up.
I don't know, we could ask them. We could ask them.
We have a lot of space on the walls and we have a lot of good stuff.
We could, I'll ask them. Any other new business? Do we need an executive session tonight?
Make a motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel matters.
Second that.
Motion by Dave, second by Dan. All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed, no. The ayes have it. Council's gonna go into an executive session. We're going to discuss a personnel matter. We need the solicitor.
How you doing? On board?
This one.